It's nice and hot. June 2025. Finally, summer has showed up here in Pennsylvania. Basically, I am sitting in the blue srt4. I'm just gonna do a quick look over on this thing. Just do an honest description. It may have found a home, and with everything, I would say that it has a price, and if it leaves for the I'll sell it price, it goes. If not, it stays. A couple other people close were like, why would you do that, blah blah blah. So, but that's with anything. So let's just take a look at this thing. I haven't cleaned this since last year. It's been sitting. Let me see here. I had this, shoot, where's the keys? Okay, so when I had this, our state gets a yearly inspection. So June of last year, we had 95,677. We have 95,998 now. So 789. So we have 331 miles since last June. Well, what's the date? Yep, 6/11/24 was the date the mileage just put on the sticker. So let's just do this real quick. So in our glove box, we have the Dodge owner's manual for the srt4. So that's in here. I do have some other information in there, insurance cards, all that good stuff that you usually want to keep in there. We have a lug tool. All right, so coming across inside, passenger door panel is pretty nice, dash is pretty nice. I installed a Kenwood head unit in here. It works just perfectly fine for me. I usually run my USB. There's 2 gauges here. I replaced this because the original pod broke. The boost is hooked up. The oil pressure is not, it's just filling a hole. I do have the stuff because this is actually should be a fuel pressure gauge. Coming across, we have our oil pressure over here, and then we have an AM failsafe gauge down here. This right here is a blue LED to go along with the boost box that's in here. You can access the AM failsafe. There is a USB port down here. You can change stuff on it. You can do boost or like different stuff. You know, the new ones now have the buttons on them. A little bit of wear on the steering wheel. Original wheel. Like I said, pod. If I grab the key, I can show that the sunroof does work. We have a Hurst shifter in here. There's booger bushings. This one is, yep, so I pulled it apart and actually redid it. I thought this one was that old. It was the gold one for some reason. I don't know why I was thinking that. But that one does have some age. They had some stuff in here that needs to come out. These are not the original seats. These are a set of CE seats from a commemorative edition. This came with the Fat Boy seats. The way you can know that is it'll have a sticker here. Okay. This does have those Lloyd mats, I guess, the ones you can get from Modern Performance. Pull this back. A lot of times floor mats are worn through and you have spots from heels. This one's just dirty, probably could be shampooed. Detailed up real nice. A little bit of side to side. Normal stuff. All right, like I said, the sunroof works. Let's just check out power door locks, power back windows. Well, we know that's a joke. All right, so windows work. Okay, back seats pretty nice, rear deck's pretty nice. Up across the top, I do have some CDs in here. You know, there's the paper from last year at Carlisle for in the windshield, in the window. An umbrella just in case. I always carry that with me. It's just kind of a show thing. Walking around the back, we do have the trunk liner. The Modern Performance third brake light is in here. These were replaced I think I put a nicer set in here maybe like a year or two ago. We got LED in there. This does have an MPX exhaust on it. It was replaced with a brand new one about, man, I'm gonna say less than 2 years. And we do have the MPX diffuser. I had this sent out when it was brand new, had it all powder coated up before I installed it because I didn't want the aluminum getting ugly on me. Come around this side, right there. I painted the calipers in the back black and then bought black rotors in the wheels along with the black cat to match. Up here in the front, I have a whole video doing the install of the Willwoods, and I did new wheel bearings. I put the ARP long studs. I just ground the tops off of these so it left a little rust ring, but they still look pretty nice. These wheels on here and these tires are not that old. They are Michelin pilots, so you know, this is probably quite a bit there in that. We got the shorty antenna up front, aftermarket black housing headlights. We do have switchbacks, so they go yellow white. I put new fog lights in so that they were pretty nice because they were kind of yellowed. We do have the AGP front race mount intercooler, Modern Performance nostril badge. This is no longer available. I bought that thing and had it probably 4 or 5 years before I did the install on that. Walking around this car, there's a couple other things. Let me see right up here. This seal is starting to come out. I did try putting some goo on it, but it blew up, so I'm going to try to fix that up now. This did have one of those VHS or whatever the cheaper version of these were on here, which is why it doesn't have any cracking there. So if you take a look at this side of the car, which would be the quarter, these two doors and this fender, I believe were painted at one time. I've had the door panels off. I did not see any internal damage. I didn't see any internal damage inside of that, other than you can see right here where these are dirty. Like I said, I haven't cleaned this since last year, where the paint was coming off right through here, you know. So to clean that up, it won't look bad. And then you can see here, I don't know why it's starting to come off on the roof right in that area, but the roof itself was not painted. The bumpers have never been painted. The lower skirting has never been painted. This front bumper's never been painted. Obviously our eyelids have. Our hood has not been painted. This is a 21-year-old car. It's seen a lot of sun, so the paint is showing its age. You can see across the top of the fender here, starting to come off a good bit. This door has cracking in it. Your moldings are showing their age for sure, all of them. The roof, like I said, down through here, there's a little bit here. This is probably the most rust on this car. These moldings are showing their age. This is really starting to get white here. I was actually going to look into maybe painting this thing if I end up keeping it and it doesn't find its new home. So what else on the outside? Man, that's pretty much it there without getting underneath. I would like to retain and keep this amp. I don't care about the speaker box. This is the front hood rubber. These clips are no good, but here it is. It's in here. None of this dirt that's in this trunk is for me. I didn't spill nothing on this thing. The spare looks like it was never used. Everything works. We've got, hopefully this works. Clock. Maybe the batteries are dead in it. Like I said, I don't use this stuff enough. I think I have one of these, and then I have like 2 or 3 keys programmed. Let's take a look up under the hood. right, so under our hood, we are starting to hear, this is just nothing there, no holes, no rot, just surface. This is just a design flaw the way this hood is. They should have put pins in the front, but they didn't. Under our hood, it has an SDK center mount and torque solution 3-mount kit. This is the stock motor, stock manifold, stock turbo, stock trans. It does have stock OEM axles. This is the original radiator. The air conditioning works in this. Power steering, I think, makes a squeak every once in a while. The clutch, I mean, I guess if you start running this hard, you drive it a bunch, you're probably going to end up having to replace that. The battery, I believe, is, this is probably, I put this in last year, so that was new last year. They just go dead from sitting. There's the wire running back. I do have some other blue wire that I was going to put in there. I believe this might be like an AGP cold air intake. The filter's down here. I do have the shield that actually goes there. This is a newer pipe, newer HKS installed, newer MPX catch can was swapped out and installed. New OEM cam sensor. It's really going to suck because I'm going to need this gauge with the other fuel system that I have, but hard to get these Boomba rails blue. This is an older one. It's actually a darker blue than some of the newer ones. Actually, it's really nice. We have Granatelli wires and a Mopar coil. Like I said, stock stage 1 injectors. This does have the watt box plug and play harness. I don't like cutting stuff up. Back here, well, you can kind of see there's our heat shield, the turbo. I have the AGP wastegate. It does have the 8-pound spring in it. I do have the fuel pump rewire back through there. We got a cute little cap. This stuff I collected. So we got a cute little cap there on top of our brakes, the MPX oil, and this rad cap came on something, so it went on. It looks like I did put new belts on here. This does have, what would that be? I forget the name of it. It has the hard pipe that comes off the turbo and goes around, and then it has a hard pipe over here, which I believe is an AGP one. I really would like to put this up on the stand so that I could actually get a good look at this. The coils this is the second set of BCs I put on here. I got a newer set and I swapped them out. I believe they are 3 years old, so there's probably maybe 1,500 miles on them at most. I think I had 5,000 miles on the last set. The video shows redoing the bushings. This has Hotchkiss front and rear sway bars. I believe that the rear control arms on this are B. Woody brand. Don't quote me, but let's take a look here. Maybe we can see some stuff. You can see just how nice and new our MPX exhaust is. Back there's that. Yeah, there's the control arms with grease fittings. I forget the brand. But this car has no rust. Look, this is your pinch rail. We got a little bit of a bend up there. That was there when I got the car. You can see the Hotchkiss. Look, Muffin, I do appreciate your help and the fact that you like to say hi. This cat. All right, now. Whew. I do have some other parts that I'm going to be putting in on with this. There's a lot here. There's a lot that you can't see right off the get-go. And I did have a long list of it, and it's all pretty much wrote down on a piece of paper that can be seen in the other video. Look how nice the battery tray is. This still has all of the OEM vacuum lines. None of that stuff was removed. We just modified it, added a T so that we put this in. Everything can be put back to stock on this. Like I said, every body panel on this car is original. You know, we got a VIN tag. The VIN tag for this is on the inside. This was never bent, never bumped in the front. Let's get down here. I polished the sides of this a couple years ago, but you can see we have our lower piece here. Very nice up through there. That one's starting to hang down, but that's kind of expected. You can see a little bit there. There is, I did timing on this when I installed this motor back in 2014, and I do have a timing belt. It looks like the front lower seal is starting to leak and has been leaking for about 3 years, because I never get a chance to work on my car. I do have the matching rear strut bar to go with this. I think I have a spare set of brake pads to go with. The 4-piston, I just bought a set just so I had them just in case. Man, there's probably, I don't know, there's probably not even 1,500 miles on them brakes all the way around. I mean, like I said, well, we did look at this side. We did kind of look at the core support. Let's come over here. We did open this. Like I said, this is a little dents, you know, door dings. We're talking a 20-year-old car, no rust, everything is pretty. If you're going to have one of these, make sure you keep this area right here. They got some stones in there. Always make sure you clean this out right here. All the stones get kicked up down into here. I think the way this is designed, somehow all the dust collects right in this area. This part is always so dirty, and then it gets inside the door. All right, well, before the battery died, let's get down here. Let's take a look. Look at this pinch rail. Look at how nice that side is. There's a little bit of bends up there. You can see how nice that is. There's the fuel rewire that was installed. You can kind of see the control arms over there. Very nice. Very straight. Very clean. Rust on the rotors from not driving this thing enough. Like I said, I mean, you know, you can get super picky. Like I said, I think there was, yep, right here. There's a scratch here. I did buff that out. It went the whole way down through. I got most of it off the front of the door. Other than those two little dings there. Like bad, small oil leak. Timing should be redone since it's been since 2014. It's going to be due for a clutch. It does have an ACT clutch in it. I think it has an AGP fork in it. You know, outside of cosmetic stuff, of being a 20-year-old original paint job, you can see the car. I don't like to hide nothing. You know, so like if I repaint this, I'd probably end up trying to get a set of the Real Tune moldings to go in there. I wanted to add that these are just stuck in here. There's no tape on any of these WeatherTech, which you can't get those no more. So they're easily removable if it's something you don't want. You know, this kind of is just for me too. Dude, I got jumper cables back here. Those things are a little outdated. We got this little LED small battery jump packs now. All right, now let's get this key out here. We'll do a start here. I did do a start before I moved this. All right, so here we go. Let's see, sunroof opens up. The sunroof is all original. It should be resealed. I typically try to do that on everything. I have not had a chance to do that on this. That in its own is something that's very nice. I usually don't use the sunroof unless I I know it's going to be open for a good bit of time. I don't open it for small drives. So here's the AFR. We've got an LED out on our oil pressure here, but you can see it. This is run, man, I can't remember if this is off the side of the head or not. And then there's your vacuum boost gauge. There's nothing hooked to this, it's just in here. I do have the face and the stuff for this. This has the MPX big oil cooler on it. What else? There's all kinds of things. That's all I can tell you. Let's get this air conditioning blowing. It's getting warm out here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a quick clean. Just wash this thing down, dust it inside. You can hear the normal ACT rattle, and see how it's got a little squeak over here. I don't know if it's something to do with the pump or if it's something inside there. It's pretty wild how this thing vibrates with the solid mounts in. You can see if I can get my hand in here. There you go. Seeing in that noise, I don't know if the camera's picking it up. It goes away. It's gear chatter noise. It's just part of the modular clutch thing. See, now it's going kind of because I let it out slow. This car does not smoke at all. Typically, I didn't change. I don't know if I changed the oil last year, but I'd be changing the oil this year and going over this thing for Carlisle. Basically, usually every year I try to make some videos doing some stuff to my car, because that's when I try to dedicate myself to my car. Oh yeah, here's 2 dents. No clue where they came from. They were in there when I got it. Everything else looks pretty good. Like I said, it just sucks that this paint does this. The wing doesn't do it, but it's like acid rain marks on here. So, oh, it has the 3-inch elbow. Like I said, there's a big list of stuff that I just can't remember off the top of my head that is all done to this. I mean, I would jump in this thing and probably drive it, well, almost anywhere, and just have fun with it, right? There's the sticker. I don't know, these things used to last, now they don't. So I'm gonna give this thing a bath. I'll probably add some of that, do a good walk around after everything's cleaned up, and show you what it looks like clean. All right, well, we washed all the pollen, the dust, and the dirt. Pretty much sitting for the last couple months off. And there's a couple small things you can go over and do. Like I need to clean this off here. Reline up this. I can get that looking a little bit better for the sunroof. Would be nice with some new moldings on this car. Wheels are pretty much cleaned up. Normally what I do is I'll wash this thing and then I put it on the lift, and then I can get underneath, clean everything. I just give this thing a wipe down wax. I don't get too crazy with it because, well, the paint's not 100% perfect on it. So you're not doing like any major buffing or anything like that. A couple small pieces here and there of stuff that's stuck in place. And missed a spot. You always see these. That's why I said I'll go back over and get everything cleaned up. The door jam's cleaned out pretty well here. I just want to I'm gonna just give this thing a quick vacuum and then wipe everything down here inside. just to try to get it to be just slightly nicer. But everything here is like I said, we got it washed and dusted down. I'll add the other video. It's 2 years old. Nothing's really changed with the car. I don't even think I put 1,000 miles on it since I've made that video. You know, other than needing some more cleanup, you know, for a 21-year-old car, this thing has no rust, no rot. You know, the paint is starting to show its age because it's original paint. Like I said, I didn't really want to paint this thing just yet because I didn't want to hide anything. You know, we got that small oil leak down here at the front, which I was going to take care of when I did the timing, but I just never got to that. That might be due. Let's see what the oil... Oh, it looks pretty freaking clean. We just got it on the intake. Fancy dipstick tube here. See if we can get it facing the right direction. There we go. Fancy. All right, you know, you're down to the light little detailing, changing out a couple things, and it is pretty much what it is. So, oh yeah, that's it. Freaking nice blue car, man.